I see you. What's up, Buck? Oh, okay. Thank you, Huck. Hey, Mr. Bill. Mr. Zach, how you doing? That's good, Zim. Yeah, it was nice here today. It was only like 75. Yeah, it's nice not having to run the AC. I haven't had mine on in over a week. Thank God. Thing is too damn expensive to run. What's with all the hatred, Ragged? Hey, Lisa. How you doing? Oh, it's just bent. Okay. Oh, in that case, you suck turnips. What's up, Sing? I guess I'm doing all right. Hey, it's all right, dude. Turnips are good for you. Turnips and parsnips. I haven't heard anything about a hose pipe ban. Yeah. Make bucket brigades like the old days. That's funny. I've never smelled government-made napalm, only the homemade shit. I would not say it compliments the smell of roasting goat. We made homemade napalm in the Boy Scouts with, I think we used diesel. Mix it with a bunch of ivory soap flakes. I don't know about curry. I've never had real curry before. I bet it's good. As long as it's not that super hot, spicy curry. Shit would set my intestines on fire. You know what also works, Bill? I've heard that actually blood works with the whatever your liquid is, and in a pinch, Jello will work. Hey, Nightingale, how you doing? And yes, I never throw away any styrofoam. I got a stockpile of it just in case. Ooh. Mm. Actually, Huckleberry, I kind of think he's right. Because curry came out of, that's traditionally an Indian food. And I think it was invented by the Brits when India was still part of the empire. I think Huck needs some black pudding. Or some spotted dick. Whip her up a big mess of spotted dick. Hey, what's up, Mr. Don T. Bro? How you doing tonight? Oh, what's up, Bill?
Well, I figured I'd come in here for a few minutes, hang out.
Cool. Still getting some rain out there?
Yeah, sprinkling on and off. I'm gonna drop off here and come back in through YouTube.
Okie doke.
Yeah, because I have double. Let's see if this is any better. I was getting like a hearing myself, and then
Sounds
I was
fine
here.
on my end.
Yeah, it's for some reason Twitch is acting crazy. Every time I've come on here, I've experienced this several times on Twitch from my phone, so I don't know what the problem is. Seems to be okay on YouTube. No different.
Well, once you're in StreamYards, you can shut down Twitch.
I don't know why I was hearing myself. I'd have a delay, like about 2 seconds, 3 seconds, something like that, and then I'd hear myself. And I couldn't keep track of how to answer you or anything. It was terrible. Hard to explain. It wasn't like an echo, it was like a delay. I see Nightingale. I see Platoon. Okay, I'm looking at the chat while I'm talking to you.
Yep.
So not too many people in here tonight for some reason. For Friday night, they must be at some other channel or something.
Well, let's see. Singularities on YouTube. Nightingale was on YouTube. AZ Infidel was on YouTube. Here comes Don.
Do you remember? Did you ever listen to Coast to Coast?
Yeah.
Do you remember John B. Wells?
The name sounds familiar.
Got kind of a deep voice. Well, he's on Twitch now. I found him. Yeah, I just followed him. He always talks about good stuff. Guy's a patriot. Been around a long time too.
Yeah, I really don't listen to Coast anymore because, well, I used to a lot when Art Bell was still running it, but after he passed away and George Norrie took over, a lot of the subject matter I just stopped caring for.
Well, actually, John B. Wells was around when before George Norrie. Yeah, and George Norrie's not terrible. I mean, you know, he's kind of entertaining to listen to, but not anything like Art Bell.
Yeah.
And I believe he's a Navy veteran, and you know, just kind of, I don't know, just kind of watered down version, you know.
Yeah. It's still better than that Clyde Lewis Ground Zero show. I can't stand that.
Yeah, I don't know what he is. I haven't figured out. He sounds like a liberal sometimes. Sometimes he sounds like a libertarian. Sometimes he sounds like a conservative. You know, he's just kind of all over the place, inconsistent. I can't really stand some of his topics, but he's not bad. He's not the worst. I mean, I could
dodging pies.
Huh?
I said I'm dodging pies.
Oh, okay. See, I was looking at chat. I didn't see you came up there.
Happy Friday evening, gentlemen.
How you doing, Don?
I'm fresh back from Vegas. Was just back from Vegas at the Black Hat and DEF CON Hacker Convention 2022. Complete with boatloads of swag. I have more T-shirts than Carter has little liver pills. Pens are the next thing. Yeah, I got a ton of pens, tons of pens. Great laptop stickers, you know, connections to people. Let's see what else. A lot of business cards. Yeah, that's about it. It was pretty cool.
A lot of good. There's a lot of good expos that go on down there.
Yeah, there are. So the Construction Expo is coming up at the end of October. The Construction Expo is the biggest expo that ever comes to Vegas. It literally consumes the entire town. They drag big equipment up in here, you know. This is where like Caterpillar and John Deere and all the rest of those heavy guys come to display their wares. You know, and if you're a factory rep there or you're a dealer or something like that, then they're there to kiss your ass.
You're kind of breaking up a little bit on my end. I don't know if Canoes is hearing the same.
No, it sounds good on my end.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm on a Bluetooth, so it's not unheard of for this thing to be digitized and weird.
Yeah, just a little choppy the way it sounds to me, but maybe it's just my phone. My phone's the problem a lot of the times. I don't know. Or I don't even think it's my phone. I think they're slowing down my data. They're trying to slow down my data, because I'm just on a phone, and when I go
Right.
over so many gigs, they start throttling me. But I
Yeah.
still have unlimited data. It's just that they throttle me.
So, I mean, have you seen that? Have you done speed tests? Have you, you know, or are you just guessing?
Well,
Do you have empirical data? Is the
I
question.
I don't think I'm guessing. I think it's been going on ever since I've been with T-Mobile.
Well, it's probably part of your plan. In T-Mobile, I have the same plan. Um, but and they tell me that anything over, what is it, 50 gigs on your phone, I believe, is then they're going to start to throttle me. But they don't say that they're going to throttle me. What they do say is they're going to network manage me. So,
Well, yeah, that's what they tell me too. They tell me,
okay,
they send me messages. You have gone over so many gigs of data. You may experience slower speeds. Blah blah blah.
I get those messages about 10 days into every
Yeah,
month, because I every month exceed my fucking limitations. And never have they ever throttled me that I can test, because I've tried. I loaded fucking what is the name of that little deal? Hold on, speed test. I loaded speed test on my phone and I tested, and no, they didn't throttle me.
I
What they
I
what the Go ahead.
I start getting problems, especially on StreamYard.
Yeah.
I start getting spirals on StreamYard,
Okay.
YouTube, yeah, and even on YouTube and all kinds of stuff. I start noticing slower data speeds, and they tell me that I will experience slower data speeds, and I do experience it,
Hmm.
and I call that throttling.
All
Maybe,
right. Well, that's cool. That's fine. They tell me the same thing, and I never experience slower data speeds.
and also they threaten me that I'm not going to get my line kickback. You know,
What?
I get a line kickback where they kick back a certain amount of money off the bill if I stay under a certain amount of data,
Huh. That's funny. I don't have that.
and they deprive me of that. That your line has over so many gigs of data usage, and your kickback will not apply for this month.
Okay. Well, that could be why you get throttled and I don't, because I don't get a kickback, and they don't expect me to have a little itty bitty line usage. As a matter of fact, every one of my lines generally um, exceeds monthly limitations on a pretty regular basis. I remember when I was in the RV, I was regularly taking 550 to 700 gigs a month across there. 100 gigs. Never, never got a lip, never got a hiccup, never got a, you know, I got wind, I got standard stuff that's standard problems that's going to be a 4G connection. But I pretty religiously got 50 megabytes in the RV, 50 megs down, which was awesome. And I regularly exceeded my caps, and I never got throttled.
And
That's cool. I mean, if
I've been with T-Mobile since 2003,
cool,
and
I
they
have
have a
not.
multi-line discount thing going on.
Oh
I
hell
don't know.
yeah, yeah. I got 8 lines. I pay them like $1.55 a month for 8 lines. But yeah, I get a little multi-line discount there. They told me at one time I was buying lines for $10 a pop, and I was, and it was good.
Each line for me is about 10 something a month.
Yep. I buy the telco for my whole family. So both the nieces, any of the kids, nephews, husbands, wifey, anything that needs a SIM card. Uncle Don, baby.
And the area that you live may have something to do with the prices and all that too.
It could. Yep. Very much. Very much.
And the offers that they have. So
dude, I'm pleased with T-Mobile. I've been with them at least about 4 years now. And I'm pleased as punch with them. I really am. They've done everything and then some. When I can get 50 megs of download in the RV going 70 miles an hour down a mountain in the middle of Tennessee, literally in the middle of nowhere, then yeah, that's pretty cool. And I would regularly get that.
Back in, let's see, around 2000, I think when I came back to Utah, I signed up with, I think I was on AT&T at the time. And I had self-service with AT&T, and I had it for my daughter and stuff. And I had it for my daughter because I was on the road driving a truck in the early 2000s. And, I wanted to keep my daughter safe, so I got her a phone. I didn't do that for my boys, just for my daughter.
I did the same for the nieces. So I bought them phones. I pay for their lines. Why? Because I don't want to hear the fucking excuse, well, my cell service died, or I didn't have service, or something like that. Nope. This thing's in your pocket. When I call, you need to pick it up. If you don't call, if you don't pick it up, and you do regular that way, I'll just turn it off.
Well, you're a good uncle.
I am a good uncle.
I never had an uncle like you.
I'm a great uncle. And yes, I will buy your love. I make no bones about that.
My family is just freaking more like, get the hell out of my face.
No, dude, I'm just like you. I want my nieces to be safe. I want them to make sure, that they've got a line all the time, that there's no question about whether it works or whether it's on some cheese ball second tier or third tier platform, company, plan that doesn't give you access to do anything at any time. No, that's unacceptable.
See, I just might as well tell them, I have abandonment issues so that you won't have to.
There you go. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. Yep, dude, there's nothing wrong with that. I have abandonment issues, so you don't.
It was like I was 18 years old and I was out of my ear, man.
No, you're absolutely right.
I was working when I was a kid. I literally was a kid when I was working, and I actually started working before they came out with the child protection thing, the child work laws and all that.
Watch it, you're going to show how old you are now.
Well, we used to work. We used to have to work.
Dude, I know. I've had to work the entirety of my entire whole old life. Yes.
I mean, they wouldn't let you work, 40-hour week, when you're 10, but
I know.
I worked 20 hours a week at least when I was 10, at least.
I don't know if I did that. Hold on for a second. Let me go fresher. Get a freshie. Talk amongst yourselves. Crazy Canadians. Aren't all Canadians crazy?
I don't know. They probably look at us and think we're all crazy.
I've been actually following a Canadian on YouTube that I discovered earlier this year. He's actually got great content. He does mostly stealth camping videos, and he covers like the whole range of stealth camping, like from different types of locations that you'll have to deal with and what kind of gear you can use and everything. And he's so down to earth and honest about the way he presents it that you can't just help and like sit and binge watch him for a couple of hours, because he's great. If anybody's interested, his channel name on YouTube is Steve Wallace.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Man, can you hear my cricket serenade out here?
Yep.
It is just all around me. Crickets everywhere.
I was going to say it's either crickets or tree frogs, but I don't think you're in the climate for the frogs.
No, we have them. But you got to be like near water for them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't hang around in the dry areas. We have some, kind of. We have toads. There's toads around. I've found toads in my yard before.
Yeah, I got toads all over my place. Find them in the driveway all the time and in the weeds, around the buildings and everything. And they don't bother me a bit. I, avoid, if I can see them before I step on them, I move out of the way so I don't smush them, because they eat lots of bugs.
Hey, Dawn, you know where Mesquite is? Mesquite, Nevada?
I think he's out of the room.
Oh. Yeah, I was going to say over Mesquite, Nevada. My mom's dog got a hold of some toad over there, and the dog, they had to take it to the vet because it got a hold of some toad that poisoned the dog. And that was in Mesquite.
Yeah, certain species, I don't know if they consider them poisonous, but they have skin secretions that definitely will mess your stomach up if you ingest them.
Yeah, apparently the dog started foaming at the mouth and everything, couldn't breathe. It was bad.
Yeah.
And they thought the dog was going to die, and they did something, I don't know, got the dog back to health again. It was a schnauzer. Schnauzers will go in after anything that moves. They're a terrier, so.
Yeah.
And then when I was down in Florida, they had this kind of a toad. They called it a bufo toad. And these toads were just kind of an odd type of thing. And they're bright yellow. And they love to hang out inside car washes. And they'd get up in the rafters of the car wash. You go and wash your car, and some big old bufo toad would drop down on your car, They just like to drop down on the cars. I don't know what it was. It was just, yeah. I mean, every time I'd go there, I'd have to watch for bufo toads over my head.
we get the toads that we get around here, or I think they're just eastern wood toads, real common all over the Midwest and on the East Coast. And they're kind of peculiar in some ways because they will actually follow you around if you're out walking at night. I've had more than one occasion where I'll be walking down the subdivision that's really close to me, because I will occasionally go and take a walk after eating dinner just to help my digestion. And you'll see them in the lawns near the sidewalks. And once they see you walking past, they'll start hopping after you just to keep you company. It's kind of funny.
I know what you're talking about. I just had a thought. It's strange for me having a thought. And the thought is maybe they've learned that by kind of following any kind of animal that's walking by, they're going to stir up bugs that they can go after.
Yeah, that was kind of my reasoning as well.
Yeah. Like walking through grass or something like that.
Kicking up little flies and mosquitoes and shit.
Yep. It's like, oh, I'll follow him. He's probably going to provide a meal for me,
Now, I ran into the same behavior once years ago with a skunk. There was this the town where I went to high school at. There was a subdivision half a block down from me, and I use it as a cutway to get down to other streets where my friends lived. And I'd either be riding my bike or just walking through the development. And for a couple nights in a row, there was a skunk in the neighborhood, and this thing would see me. I'd stay on the right side of the road, and it was on the left side of the road, and it would pace me throughout the entire neighborhood. It wouldn't try to cross the road and get close to me. Otherwise, I would have turned and ran away. But it would just be walking down the one sidewalk, and I'd be walking down the other, and it stopped when I stopped, and it would go when I go. It was like, what the fuck is this thing doing?
Well, I used to drive a patrol truck for a security company around a refinery. I was an EMT at a refinery, and EMT security. And so there was this dirt road back west of the refinery, and I go down this dirt road, and I'd see this lady every day with bags of dog and cat food that people would donate to her, and she would feed. There was like an old abandoned farm back there, and the old bleached out barnwood and everything, and she'd come out there and bring these dishes out, these dog dishes and stuff, and fill them up, and the cats and skunks would come from all over the place, even raccoons. And they wouldn't fight with each other. They'd share the same bowls and everything. They'd share the bowls.
Yeah.
And she would feed, and I donated her a couple of bags of dog food. And I would just park and just watch all these freaking animals. I mean, they just come out. There's all this high grass and stuff around, and they just start coming out of the high grass and the bushes. And man, raccoons, skunks, just stray cats, everything would just come out like herds of them. And they knew she'd come out the same time every day on my shift and feed them. And I'd watch her feed them, and she could walk right around them and everything. The skunks wouldn't spray her, the raccoon, cats, nothing would go after her, because they knew there was food there.
Yeah. That's just like when my dad had all the barn cats a few years back before he died. There were so many of them that he started feeding them, cat food and just, kitchen waste, stuff that had been sitting around human food wise that was just about to go bad. He'd throw it out there. And it was something like, if he had to weigh it out, like say he was putting like at least 5 pounds of food out every night and just setting it in the driveway. And I would come home because I was working the evening shift, and I'd come home at 10 o'clock and be walking up the driveway, and there'd be like 20 cats out there with like 3 or 4 skunks just hanging out and eating, out of the same bowl. Same thing we were talking about. And I had to adjust my approach to the house after I noticed the skunks, because I had to go in through the side door of the garage, and it was close to where they were at, and I didn't want to get sprayed. But yeah, dude, it attracted all those cats, skunks, and then later in the evening, you'd get the raccoons and the possums. And then in the morning, you get the turkey vultures.
Yeah. And another weird thing, talking about that, about them all feeding out of the same bowl, a friend of mine told me, he was in the Midwest. I think he was in Kansas or somewhere. And there was like a bad tornado gear. And he was driving along, and he hears this tornado warning and starts seeing a funnel cloud drop down, and he's like, "Oh shit!" and pulls over to the side of the road, and he parks his car down in the ditch and goes into this covert. And while he's in this covert in this tornado, he could hear it. I mean, it sounded like a freight train. And this tornado, because I've been through some tornadoes myself, I know how they sound too. And anyway, he's in there, and he says there was all of a sudden coyotes started coming in there. He said there was coyotes, there was all kinds of animals like skunks and everything. Everybody was minding their own business. They were like, all these animals were in that covert with them, and they were all minding their own business. They were all using that covert for shelter. And he said he just sat there with them, and they're all like on both sides of him. All kinds of animals. He's like, and he was not worried about the animals. He said all these animals were worried about the same thing he was, that tornado. Is that a trip or what?
Yeah. Well, we had a period of about a year, going back about 6 or 7 years now, where there was a pack of coyotes that were hanging around the neighborhood, and police started getting reports. Cats and small dogs were turning up missing in the neighborhoods and shit. And one night, my dad went in the barn to go feed the cats, and found what was left of one of the cats on the concrete floor. All that's left was the head and the spine.
Ooh.
And he come out and show, he's like, "Take a look at this. What do you think it is?" I'm like, "That's a coyote." So I told him, I'm like, because he would just leave. The barn had a roll up aluminum door, and I told him, I'm like, "You need to start fully closing the door when you go to bed at night," because he would leave it open like about 6 inches so the cats could get it in and out. He's like, "Well, what happens if the cat doesn't get to eat?" I'm like, "Then it goes without dinner for the night. Who the fuck cares? It's a barn cat. Like, you don't want to keep attracting coyotes around here."
Yeah. But I think there are situations where all of the animals actually will hang out and coexist with each other because of catastrophes and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, because animals can sense earthquakes and tornadoes and shit like that.
They're like, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not gonna bite you right now. I got to worry about this tornado. You know.
Well, you kind of see the same thing in Africa at the watering holes. You know, all the animals tend to get along, especially during droughts. You know, and if a water hole appears, you'll get all different kinds of species that just come there and they don't give a fuck about what else is there. They just want to get water.
Yeah, I've seen those shows, like where there'd be crocs in there, and all the animals, the lions, the water buffalo, everything. All they care about is not getting eaten by a croc.
Yeah. All the deer, they're, you know, whatever type of species of deer they got, the dooku and the springboks, the water
Gazelles.
buffaloes, the rhinos and elephants and everything. They all get along, and they kind of look out for, you know, there'll be some birds that'll be, you know, on lookout for the crocs, and as soon as they see them, they'll sound an alarm, and by then all the other animals, you know, move away from the water hole.
Even hyenas, baboons, and stuff like that, things that you'd think, you know, that are like dangerous type animals, cheetahs and stuff. Nah, they're not like killing each other or anything. They're just trying to get some of that water to survive, and all they want to know is they're not going to get eaten by a croc. And so they'll tolerate all the other animals, and they all like step aside and make room for each other and everything. So yeah, it is possible that animals can coexist, I think, when they have a common thing, you know, a common concern, I guess, like a tornado or crocs or something. That's what I think. I think they can get along. I think Apex can get along if he tries.
Up saying,
Hey, how's it going, guys?
same shit, different day.
I hear that.
Oh shit.
I'm embarrassing myself on World of Tanks. God, it's been a long time since I played. I'm getting my ass kicked.
I heard that's a fun game.
It is. I really enjoy it. Bunch of 12-year-olds kicking my ass tonight, though.
Yeah. You just tell them, but can you do it when it really counts?
I tell you what, some of these kids are good. I know I got nieces and nephews, man. They're rock stars at some of these games. It's impressive. It's with the younger generation, it's like they were born with the hand-eye coordination to where these controllers just fit perfectly for them. I swear.
Yeah, hippos are the most dangerous species. I think they are. There's thus amount of people that get killed by hippos every year.
Yep.
And you know those damn hippos, they were going to try and put them in the Mississippi River. Did you know that?
No. But
Hey,
Yeah.
Reagan.
thank
They
God
voted
they
on it.
didn't. Jeez.
They didn't, only by one vote. It was in Louisiana.
That's
It
crazy.
was, yeah, it was brought up. It was brought up and voted on, and they voted by one vote not to put hippos in the Mississippi. Otherwise, we would have them.
I'm gonna have to come in here on the video games topic.
Put your damn clothes on.
You know what? I have shorts on. That counts.
I can resist that, too.
I'm blind.
Yes.
I need the eye
I
bleach.
do feel naked though. Oh, that's better. So how's everyone's night going?
Yeah, pretty good.
Good. I think I got tomorrow off to where I can work around the house here, work on my lawn, everything. Putting a new fence up. So slash wall, I guess would you call a rock fence or wall?
I would call that a what do they call them in Ireland? Just a stone fence, right?
Oh, where'd Don go?
Oh, he didn't want to see my boobies. Be right back. I'm gonna go grab another one of those Klondike bars. Oh wait,
You're eating Charlie and grapes. Jeez, Kim.
Charlie.
I don't know what she means by that.
Maybe
Charlie and grapes. She says
Charlie Chocolate Factory. Is that like Charlie short for chocolate?
Oh.
Oh, maybe a good combination. Chocolate, a little bit of chocolate with some grapes. I love grapes. I'll buy a bag of grapes and eat half of them in a night. Now, like what you were talking about, Bill, about the hippos, coming close to being in the Mississippi. Did you know that back in the 1800s, during the Indian Wars, that the U.S. Army experimented with using camels for the cavalry troops
yes.
out in the Southwest?
hey Cam.
They actually were pretty effective too.
Yep.
Yep.
Going through
Camels can run pretty fast.
Huckleberry, Kim, Ragged Coin. What's up, everybody? I'm late to that.
Camels could be real fast runners, and they're very maneuverable. They turn around really good. You load a lot of gear on them. They don't need a lot of water or feed. They can go for long periods without it.
I actually rode one.
You know what aren't good animals for turning around and stuff and maneuverability? Donkeys. Donkeys won't turn around for shit, especially if they're in the narrow passage. True story. They actually early cave spelunkers, or I guess explorers, they'd take donkeys down with their equipment, but then they'd have to carve out what are called donkey turnaround spots, where it's just a bowed out section of the path, so that the donkey wouldn't freak out.
U.S. Army's camels. The U.S. Army employed a guy who was called High Jolly, and the camels were and High Jolly and the camels were in Quartzsite, Arizona, and that was Quartzsite's original claim to fame. Was that this is where High Jolly brought those camels and trained them for the U.S. military, for the U.S. Army, so that they could use them in the desert. And some of those camels are still there today, from my understanding.
Well, how about this? Did you know that camels originate? We have fossils of camels that shows that camels are older in North America than they are in in the Middle East. That they were actually one of the early camels were all over North America at one time.
That kind of makes sense.
Mhm.
Because back then you're talking like the Eocene period of time in geology, when like we still had ground sloths and we had mammoth all over the country and everything. The Bering Lands connection between Alaska and Asia was still there, so they could have migrated easily over into Asia.
Well, there's an Asian camel. That's the one that's up in Mongolia, and that one is the two hump camel. I can't remember what they call that. Just a camel, I guess. It's the two hump one, and it's actually adapted to colder weather climates, high deserts.
I got to touch on Ragged Colin's comment here about the bird. There is a bird that, and I can't remember exactly which one it is, but supposedly is closely related to the raptor, and it's got a little venom thing in its little talon in the feet. And it'll come at you with its feet. It's crazy, but it's poisonous. It's a poisonous bird. And it's, I think, somewhere over in like Australia or
New Guinea. New Guinea. Yeah.
Yeah, those screw those birds.
And they actually
job sucks.
Actually, their eggs are poisonous too.
Really?
There's only 2 eggs that come from birds that are poisonous in the entire world, and both species that lay those poison eggs are in New Guinea.
Why is everything in that section of the world trying to kill humans?
I don't know. Even the humans eat each other. I mean, they were cannibals up until recently, and they say they may still be practicing cannibalism, but they can't prove it.
Huh.
Yeah, like I read somewhere that back during World War II, we had a couple, like, I guess they called themselves shore watchers, mostly Australians and New Zealanders that would, set up station on all those remote islands out there and keep tabs on the Japanese and radio, their locations to the U.S. And some of them, would take up with the natives to, get food and everything. And I think on more than one account, they ran into cannibalism as late as, World War II. Same thing with the tribes that did the shrunken head shit.
That's South America.
I think that was in Southeast Asia too.
I don't know. I know I've seen
The tribes in New Guinea.
I've seen real shrunken heads, but I don't think they were human. They used to sell them as souvenirs, and they came out of South America. Chile was one country. There was some natives that lived in Chile that they got the heads from monkeys.
Little monkey heads, weren't they?
They were monkey heads, and they'd shrink them down and make it look like a human head.
Mm-hmm.
And leave a little tuft of hair on the top of them, and they'd sew the mouth and the eyes shut. And they'd shrink it somehow by heat over a fire or whatever. Not sure exactly how they did it. But it was a cool thing. There was people that would hang these little shrunken heads from their rearview mirror in their hot rods.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the 60s. It was a big thing. And then they banned it for import. They wouldn't let them import them anymore.
It wasn't necessarily a foxtail, but when I had an antenna on my Jeep, I had a squirrel tail on the antenna. Does
Oh, yeah. No, but yeah, I mean,
I zipped out a squirrel tail to my antenna.
I had a rabbit's
Yeah,
foot
and you have the
keychain.
rest of the skin like half rotting away in your trunk.
No. No.
Yeah, because I kept when I was fishing around for my gear in your truck, I kept coming across it.
Oh, that was a rabbit fur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah, no, that
nasty
one
with
that's a
fur was
rabbit
back
fur
there.
that yeah. That one had been professionally tanned. I sewed two of them together, two different did two different types of gray, a darker and a lighter.
Well, I had a rabbit's foot, and we used to get these little pot guts. They'd run out in the middle of the road, and then when you hit them, run over them, they pop. They're kind of like a chipmunk or something. And then we'd shoot them with our pellet guns and make little keychain or make hat bands for our cowboy hats out of their tails.
Nice.
There's not enough on them to get any meat or anything off of them, but we sure get a bunch of tails, enough to make a hat band. Cool looking hat band. That was back in the day. I was a teenager.
What's that rabbit going? What did you say here, sir?
I started making my own cigarettes.
See, that's the cheaper way of going.
Yeah, I just get pipe tobacco, and sometimes I'll get cigarette tobacco, but same thing. It's like way cheaper. Cigarettes have gone through the roof. They just raised them another $1 last week. It went up another $1. So, and I got sick of those little flavored cigars like Whiz Smokes.
Yeah, I don't like those.
I kind of got away from smoking, and I was vaping for quite a while. And the vape really gave me a bad cough I couldn't get rid of.
Yeah, the Huckleberry, that's what I read.
Ragged's just in a dirty mood tonight.
Yeah, well, we've been going back and forth.
Then
Dragon's got a good sense of humor. I appreciate that. We might as well laugh.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's funny. It's this job at Qdoba is kind of like the nation currently falling the fuck apart.
Try to focus on fun and positive things.
Right.
But I'm trying to do that. I really am. I'm putting in a lot of effort. It's hard sometimes because there's so much negativity around us. You know, it's kind of hard to stay positive.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes it is. It's hard to stay positive.
Hey, Nightingale. Have a good night. Thanks for dropping by.
Good night, Nightingale. Appreciate you.
I have a stream to show off. Check this out. Check that rock out. So this is garlic cookies. I think it's also known as GMO or something like that. Apparently the THC rating on this is 28 to 33%, and it's got 3% CBD in it. It's nutty. This is like the freaking probably some of the best weed I've ever smoked.
Have you heard of CBDA?
CBDA.
CBDA.
I haven't looked much more into the like. I know that there's CBDN, CBDA, and CBG. The whole litany of different things that come out of the that come from the hemp plant and stuff.
CBDA is a full spectrum.
Yeah.
Full spectrum that it's got a lot of health benefits to it. Something about I don't know, the frequency of the plant itself is retained in the CBD. Some kind of hype about that.
Hey, speak of the devil, Hawk is in here. Hey, buddy. Long time no see.
Well, I'm really trashed right now. I'm so tired is what I'm meaning.
Yeah.
Because I get up very early, 5 o'clock every morning. And it's kind of hard for me to stay up any longer. It's 11:19 my time, and it's really late for me. But I had to come up and hang out with Canoes. I saw him sitting on the stream all by himself and was like, that ain't right. I got to come up there.
I
Good night, Huckleberry. Have a good. We'll catch you later.
G13 with Trainwreck. That sounds like a delicious cross.
So I'm going to pop into the chat and hang out for a little bit before I go to sleep here. Good to see you, Apex Canoes.
Right on the money. It is 1:20 in the morning. So fire in the fucking bowl.
Yeah, fire in the fucking bowl. Brought by Sounds Great Biscuits. Holy shit. Pretty good excuse to bring the guitar out, but I done fucked up the theme song already. Yeah, but then when my dude first brought the strain home, he brought it home yesterday. He went up to Michigan to the farm and picked up like 2 pounds of it. And brought it home. Was like, man, we're gonna smoke this joint, and you're gonna tell me what you think. What just exploded?
No, I just heard a weird noise. Oh.
Is that me?
It must have been.
Gotta be.
Oh. Yeah. My dogs are being weird. It's probably one of them moaning at me. They logged me off. They hopped up and smacked my phone with their paw, and it took me off.
That's funny.
Hey, Ragged.
They were like, no stream for you.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to pay attention to us.
Right?
I'll be right
Pay
back.
attention to me, damn it. Wow. The only true drinking vessel.
Was it a glass flask?
No, it's a ball jar.
Oh, it looked real narrow when I saw it. Dude.
That'd be cool.
Drinking.
I wish I had a glass flask. That'd be cool though.
I've got a mason jar with a handle on it.
Man.
Golden Harvest drinking jar.
Oh yeah. So I finally did that 23andMe thing. See how far back my history goes. I apparently have Viking blood in me, like actual true Viking blood.
Mm.
It gives me a reason to do my Viking braids now. Mostly German. There's some Hungarian in there. And yeah, Norwegian.
You got to be careful with those things too, because a lot of the results, it sounds out there, but
Mhm.
the Chinese have been getting the results, and the fact of the Chinese where they own some of these companies and they're getting results. Well, it's been proven that the Chinese have been working on DNA based what they call assassination diseases or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and that's actually proven that they've been working on those, and the fact that they get a lot of the results from a lot of these companies because they CCP members own a lot of the companies or own large amounts of companies. I don't know. I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but 2 + 2 a lot of times got to go with it. They make me nervous doing one of those tests.
Yeah.
That and I'm lucky I've got ancestry records on both sides back quite a ways. So
Right. Well, that's always a plus.
yeah, I mean, not to freak you out saying that Chinese are going to come after you or the CCP, but
I'm not worried about the Chinese having my family, my lineage. Just know
I think
them
my dog
counter-
just knocked them over.
So, Apex, I saw in the group chat a little while back, you were talking about how you wanted out of Qdoba. Where did you say you were going to go wearing a Qdoba shirt?
Chipotle.
Ah, okay.
Guess what I did? I went to Chipotle wearing my uniform, my manager uniform. They offered me $17 an hour.
Did you take them up on it?
Nah. I think this is gonna be the only burrito place that I work.
Yeah. Is that up by that shopping area that we went to? That it had like the subway and all that.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. Okay.
Yep, that's up that way. Actually, no, that was towards Westfield. This is towards more towards like Zionsville, Whitestown. So the other,
okay.
yeah.
Other direction. And Kimmy is fucked up tonight. She said that she's way past cooter bug high.
I saw that. I saw that. Jimmy, I need you straighten out this lion's mane that I got. Oh man. So I tried to so this is the shoulder that was messed up with the squirrel was still kind of acting up. I thought it was a brilliant idea to try to one arm a 50-pound bag of beans the other day. Now this arm's messed up. This shoulder. It's rough, bro. It's rough. Like literally, like both arms are now to the point where I feel the same stretching equally on both sides. The same little pops and creaks in the shoulder. Oh man, it sucks.
Start doing some lat lifts, working on your lats.
Yeah, and that's actually what I've been doing here lately. That is a lot of freaking push-ups.
Yeah, I there's no way I doubt I'll ever be able to lift 50 pounds with my left arm anymore.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it sucks. Like for a while
Well,
there.
it's like directional too, though. Like I could probably lift a 50-pound bag of cat food with
Right.
my left arm, but only if I'm holding it low. There's no way I could take that weight off the ground and lift it to say my shoulder height. I would probably destroy whatever's left of my arm.
Right. See if you can alter your DNA because I'm like Spider-Man. I mean, that'd be kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. I think I'd want like active like camouflage, like where my skin would just turn like a mirror and just bend light around it.
Yeah,
That'd be kind
like
of
you're like a human Indominus Rex.
yeah, exactly. That'd be cool as hell.
Chameleon DNA. No, if I could change anything, like semi superpower stuff, I want the ability to change my own gravity at will.
Your own gravity at will.
So
That would be good.
I could like just start out walking and build up some speed, and I could like say jump over a house or something, or jump up
That
onto
would
the
be
top of a
so
tree.
cool.
Yeah, I've dreamt about that crap since
I
I was
have
a kid.
too.
Like reoccurring dreams of being able to jump into trees and jump over houses and buildings and shit.
There's supposedly some meaning behind dreams like that, but I can't remember what it is. Although those dreams are really cool when it happens. Lately, my dreams include running through the woods and away from something in terror. I'm still trying to figure out what it is. It's been like a nightly dream thing that I have, but I keep waking up in cold sweats and it's bad.
And I hardly remember my dreams anymore. I can never stay asleep long enough to get into a good dream state,
Yeah.
let alone remember it.
See, I've
sleeping
been trying to keep a
me
dream
anymore.
journal.
Oh.
It doesn't work out so well. Some nights I wake up and write down what I was dreaming, but others is just I'm too damn tired. I fall right back to sleep. Speaking of which, it is 1:32 in the morning, and I have to open the store at 6 a.m.
Fun.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go see about trying to get some Z's.
Uh,
Have a good night, everybody.
yeah. Thanks for stopping by.
Yup, yup.
Take care.
Peace, guys.
I don't have anything terribly profound to discuss this evening.
Yeah, same here.
One of those days.
I started the stream pretty much not with any specific topic in mind.
Yep.
I'll put the link up one last time in case anybody else wants to come up. And we'll give it, say, 10 minutes.
Sounds good. Somebody, that was quick. Oh, Don, how's it going?
Well, not bad so far. I mean, you know, the night is well, it's still young here on the West Coast. It's only 10:30 p.m. on a Friday,
Nice.
and
And you drink an espresso.
I drank an espresso at 9 p.m. I really need to stop that shit. I really do. Although apparently AT can do it with immunity and impunity, so that's fine.
Yeah, I've got to quit drinking coffee throughout that. To be honest, I should probably stop drinking coffee around 2:00.
Well, to be honest, you should probably stop drinking coffee around 10 a.m. But you know,
True. My
grunting
biggest
on stage. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say my biggest problem is I quit drinking soda pop. So for taste, I drink coffee. I'll have a Gatorade every so often or whatever, but I haven't had a soda pop for drink a lot of bottled water, but haven't had a soda pop for probably 3 years now.
Soda pop. Okay.
That Pepsi, Coke.
Yeah. I'm familiar. I'm not a complete idiot. I'm not a Democrat.
No, yeah. I know a lot of people call it pop. A lot of people call it soda. Here we call it soda pop. So I guess to me that both are right.
Okay. I think in Minnesota they call it soda.
Soda.
I wish I could sleep.
Minnesota
I have
stuff.
insomnia. I hate it. Sorry to hear that, Ragged. Dude, we'd love to have you on screen here. I know you're too ugly to come up, and you know, and I know you don't sleep a lot, so that's cool. But we'd love to have you on screen. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I'm
drag
ugly
my
too.
ugly ass up here, so yeah. All the rest of it is not exactly pretty people. Okay.
There's avatars. You can put an avatar up.
Yeah. You can be whoever you want to be.
As soon as you enter the StreamYard, there's a list of them you can choose from as soon as you turn your camera off.
Oh, I got a question for you, Don. Considering you said you were just in Vegas this weekend or the last couple of days, I was looking into some Vegas information earlier today. When the fuck did they change the name of the airport there?
From McCarran to Harry Reid.
Yeah.
Right after Harry Reid died.
Okay.
So to be clear, I don't know who uses, somebody I'm sure uses Harry Reid, but the sign out front of the airport on the entrance, welcome to McCarran Airport. It does not
that's
say
what I've
welcome
always
to,
known it as.
It doesn't say welcome to Harry Reid Airport, but if you look at it in Google Maps, any kind of automated solution, it's all Harry Reid Airport. So
Yeah, that threw me off today. It's
The
like,
locals will
Harry-
they probably changed it because they're all pissed about the wheeling and dealing he is doing with private or public land. He was selling off public land to different countries. So they're probably pissed off at him.
Well, let's see. Harry Reid, people in Las Vegas love Harry Reid.
Uh,
He's kind of a conservative. He was kind of a conservative Democrat. Still liberal, but Second Amendment freak. And he brought the pork home to Vegas. And anybody could, when you can bring the pork home, then they love you.
yep.
So
I
Harry
didn't know that's
is
where he was from.
probably one of the principal guys to expand Las Vegas Airport, McCarran National Airport, into Harry Reid International Airport.
Okay.
Federal money is what does that. And Harry was a senator, you know that. So he brought home the bacon to Las Vegas. As much as Las Vegas is kind of a purple state, Las Vegas is kind of is very, well, not very blue, but blue, but not as blue as it has been. And the rest of the state is red. And the state is moving red. It's just a matter of how many more checks they're going to ask me to write before we get to actual redness. They keep promising me that shit. Anyway. Yeah, Vegas flooded, baby. We lost 2 cars, but we didn't lose any people. It was cool. And it took about 15 minutes for the water to subside.
I found out an interesting fact that surprised me. I guess Colorado is the 6th lowest for property tax in the nation. That kind of surprised me. Colorado was low, in the bottom half of anything on taxes. Because I know our income tax, they make up for it.
Dude, I know what it feels like to live in a medium to high taxation state. You always feel like you're getting bent over and raped.
Mm.
Till you move to like Texas or a Tennessee or a Nevada that has no income tax and low property tax.
Yeah.
I've said it before, dude. I saved thousands moving to Nevada from Maryland.
I think of all the taxes, property tax, especially on if you're one home property tax. Yeah, if you got 3-4 vacation homes, go ahead and tax them. But one home property tax, if you're living there and that's your house, primary house, I think that is complete theft, because basically you have to keep leasing it from the government.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right.
It's just frustrating to me.
Well, some states, actually, Nevada has something where if you're a vet and you retire in the state of Nevada, you get some kind of. I'm gonna have to look into it. Before I open my mouth, let me shut up and yeah.
Double check it.
There's a benefit there if you're retiring in the state of Nevada as a veteran. It's either that I remember it either in Nevada or it may have been in Texas. Both states treat veterans very nicely, very well within the state laws. Very nicely. Tax breaks,
Nice.
special dispensations, so to speak.
Nice.
And after 65 years old in Texas, I'm pretty sure of this. After 65 years old, you no longer have to pay property taxes.
Oh, that'd be nice too. So when you retire, at least you wouldn't have to.
Yep.
But then as soon as you leave it to somebody, they have to pay such high taxes on it. If you leave it to them in a will, they could probably not keep it.
Well, listen, if you're getting, $1 million worth of property for free, then yeah, maybe you need to pay the tax on it. Just saying.
I think if it's like a parent leaving it to a child, some tax, okay, but like some of this 50% tax.
Yeah, but you can do a level of estate planning to mitigate most of that tax in
You
the
can,
will,
yeah.
in the estate. You gotta. Plus, you have there's a margin. I mean, I think the first 250,000 is free. It's tax free. And
Right.
the second 250,000 to $1 million is like got a 10% tax on it or a 5% tax or something like that.
Right.
So it's not, it's not an ass whooping, so to speak. But
And
the
I've
simple
known
fact
people.
is, go ahead.
Oh, I've known people also that like when they get to 70, they'll sell it to their kid for like 10 grand or something like that.
They can do
And
exactly.
then,
Yep.
yeah.
So
And then they basically are living there.
If you think about it, there's 100 different ways to skin that cat. If you're trying to, Las Vegas, Nevada, Amber Alert, JTA 32F, Arizona, 2010 white Chevy Avalanche pickup. Type Amber Alert.
Yeah. No, darn Kimmy. Sorry to hear that. Let's see. But
Big hugs
yeah,
for Kimmy. Big
Yeah.
hugs for Kimmy. Yep. Amber Alert. Amber.
look at it this way: they're going to have 81,000 or 87,000, whatever it is, 80-some thousand new IRS agents. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I'm
could
excited.
explain to me there are not 87,000 millionaires in the States, are there?
I hope so. I don't know.
Yeah, I could be wrong. But
Man, you could be hopeful. How many millionaires in the United States? I'm sure Google knows that.
yeah,
Let me reach over and ask him real quick.
Well, the IRS has for a long time been kind of a shadowy agency, shall we say, where they park a lot of assets for other administrations and a lot of money for other administrations that so it won't be tracked back to its source. That could be just another holding ground for some black ops type shit.
clandestine
Personnel
operations. Yeah.
So the number of U.S. millionaires grew from 6.6 million in 2020 to 7.5 million in 2021, reflecting a 13.5% increase, according to Capgemini's World Wealth Report 2022.
Wow.
6.6 million, 7.5 million millionaires.
Wow. Now, see, I know some people that are considered millionaires, but they've gotten like $1 million plus in assets, but they don't have a lot of people. It's just like Elon Musk. I tell everybody, they're like, well, he's the richest man in the world. I was like, yeah, but cash on hand, he doesn't have $256 billion cash on hand. He has a crap load of assets now.
Hey,
But
am I the only one hearing him garbled?
No, sounds fine to me.
Okay, could be me then.
is this
Sorry,
better?
go ahead.
Oh, but yeah, that everybody, so many people think that Elon Musk has like $256 billion in cash. It's like, no, that's assets, that's everything. So I've got to explain that to people. You'd think they would know, but because it seems like common sense to the rest of us, but a lot of people don't understand that.
You must spend a lot of time explaining stuff to people.
Oh, I do.
See, I can't. I don't have the time for that, nor the patience. I just don't. That's when my LTS kicks in.
Homer list. The hell's a Homer list?
You mean it's homeless?
No.
Who's homeless?
I don't know. He's just making a random reference.
Oh. Tell that to the homeless. Oh, what did we say to the homeless? What did we say?
Get a job.
That's what I always tell the homeless.
Yep. I don't have much. I mean, I don't have much sympathy for the homeless. I will not give them money. I'll give money to the Salvation Army around Christmas time to help out, with their missions and everything, but I don't give money directly to the homeless.
The millionaires.
The
So
ragged
let me
in
ask
the
you this,
U.S.
Greg.
right now.
Are you think there's more homeless in the United States or millionaires in the United States?
That, and I may feel somewhat bad if there weren't so many jobs, but every state, every town, every county, everything you go to, people are hard up to find help. They want help so bad they cannot find people to fill jobs. So there are a lot of jobs out there.
Dude, a large portion of those homeless simply don't want to work. They don't. There was a young lady talking about it today. There's a lot of people that can be helped. Really, homeless that can be helped. They have mental problems. They have bed problems. They just need to find a bed, find a fucking shelter. They have mental problems. The state can help them with mental problems. But there's a group of them that just want to be on the street. And they say, we're here, we're staying, we're going to defecate on the fucking corner, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
Right.
And those people, there's no helping them. All you got from that is locking them up.
The ones that want to be helped, I say, yeah, let's help them. Offer them some jobs.
Right.
That's what.
I mean, not even just jobs. If all you need is a roof over your head, or you need some mental help, then we can do that too. Okay.
Now, if it's an elderly person, I'll help them out. Like if it's somebody that's very old.
So there should be different. There are different programs for elderly. There are programs, Medicaid, Medicare, for people that are 65 and older, 57 and a half and older, that kind of thing. So,
Yeah, sometimes though, the back to rent. I think we let our elderly down. I really do. In some ways, we keep borrowing from Medicaid and stuff that when you got to figure somebody that's 65, 70, when they were younger and working, they were always told that Medicare is the way to go. Medicare is the way to go. It wasn't until the late 90s that people started really pushing, private retirements and stuff, saying that you need to do this, you need to do that. A lot of them thought, Social Security and and stuff like that was the way to go, and that would be the retirement. Shit, we borrowed against that so many times, though. And this new bill they passed is borrowing from Social Security.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys
You're
caught
absolutely
that
right.
little tidbit in the report when you read it, but yeah, I couldn't believe it.
I'm barely going to see any cash that I put in it, honestly.
Right now, the current generations are supporting the previous generations because they've taken so much out of it. There's just not much left in there.
Well, it's always been like that. It's always been the current generation is supporting the previous generation. But the current generation percentage of support has always been much, much, much higher.
Right.
So the currently, as in now, percentage is like down to less than 3% of the workforce is the workforce is contributing less than 3% to Social Security, and so Social Security is having to call upon the trust fund to fund its debts, to fund its responsibilities, to send checks out, basically. And that can only last, they say, until 2035.
Yeah.
At that point, it'll stop. So, but it used to be that, the guys, the current guys that were funding, the older guys' retirements, the current guys were funding it at 50%, 60%, 70% levels, 100%, 110% levels when the getting's good, that kind of thing. But now it's way, way down. Why? People ain't working. It's really just that simple.
Right. Ragged, and I know that people dispute this all the time, but it's actually very common that a lot of the illegal immigrants we get are some of them camped in those tents on the streets. The reason you don't have a severe problem is because you guys got an ocean around you. So whether that's popular to say or not, that a lot of those are. And like Don said, a lot of them are just people that just don't want to work. It's unfortunate. And there are a lot of psychological problems that we need to do better here at treating. But, you put the government in control of anything, it seems like they screw it up.
Yeah, that's, I hate having to be beholden to the government for anything in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But what I'm finding more recently is not only in the past, the government didn't give a fuck about me, but at least the government was staffed with people who could articulate the words to say, Mr. Don, we don't give a fuck about you. Now, the government's not even staffed to the point where someone can articulate the message, Don, we don't give a fuck about you. They just won't return your call. They don't pick up the phone. They don't answer your email. They don't give a fuck about you. But now they don't give a fuck about you. So it's getting worse before it's going to get any better. And I mean, dude, me and the wife were just talking about this. The cliff that service has fallen off of. And I mean, it's like a 1,000-foot straight down chasm that fucking we're achieving terminal velocity at. And the impact is going to be just one big red bloody splatter, if you know what I mean, onto jagged rocks at the bottom of a 1,000-foot chasm. So my point is real simple. We're fucked And we're just now beginning to feel fucked. Does that make sense?
I got you. I still think there's a chance to turn it around. It's going to be hard. It ain't going to be easy. But yeah, if we get, yeah.
I fear we will never see the day of the level of service that I used to enjoy. Really. I'm fearful of that.
Yep.
Because at one time there was a level of service that didn't cost a testicle in the United States that you could get on just about anything. Now you can't even get it, no matter how much you pay for it.
Right.
You just can't. It's not there. It's not available. Excuse me. So I mean, I'll shut up. I'm just an old guy fucking venting on a Friday night to a bunch of old younger guys. So there. And Ragged, you're just an old guy. We pay the French billions, but they still let them come back through the fucking. Don't they though? They let them in the goddamn tunnel.
Dude, Mexico gets a lot of money, and I'm not talking about trade. Mexico gets a lot of money, assistance basically from the U.S. And there, you want to talk about billions. Mexico gets a lot of money from the U.S. just basically handed over to them every year, and it's literally yearly, and they still let them pass through. So, although the people there were hollering pretty darn good when Trump wasn't allowing them through and they had to do the remain in Mexico, then all of a sudden the people in Mexico are like, screw this, we don't want them here.
Well, I mean, when they started doing the remain in Mexico, then they wouldn't let them in the other end of Mexico, in the southern end of Mexico. They closed the door.
Yep, and they put their friggin' military down there.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Because previously, oh yeah, you can march through here and make a big spectacle of yourself. And Trump said, well, if you want to do that, then you feed them.
Yep.
All of a sudden, Mexico was like, well, maybe not.
And the thing is, I didn't know about the first country provisions in immigration. I didn't know about that, but the first country they go through, and then the second country, if they're denied, then they go through the countries. If they're democracies, they've got to actually go through.
They can't be denied. That's the thing. If they're going to achieve, and here's the thing, if they achieve refugee status in the United States, then they can also achieve, then they should and will achieve refugee status in Mexico. And Mexico's their first country. So that's who's got to pick them up.
Yep.
So you can't just, set up a corridor there and let them pass through Mexico without get refugee status. If they don't get refugee status, then, okay, we'll just throw them in jail.
Right.
Anyway.
Or bus them through. I mean, God, they had friggin' buses there busing through.
Yeah, there's a big pissing contest between Texas and Washington, D.C. and New York.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. New York's complaining that, this is just un-American to send them up here. And that New York mayor had the balls to, on live TV, say that Texas should handle their own problems and not send their problems here.
Yes, sir.
What
yes, sir.
That is either stupidity or some big balls to say something.
It's just stupidity is all it is. It's just blatant fucking arrogance and stupidity is all it is.
Yep. And remember when what's it? Oh God dang! The governor of Texas, Abbott, right? Yeah. When Abbott was asking for the National Guard and the Democrats flipped out, and now what is Washington D.C. and New York doing? They're
National
begging.
Guard, baby.
Yep. I get a kick out of that. It's like, you hypocrites. But the more they speak about these things, the worse they look. So it's like, yep, just keep opening your mouth.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna drop out for the night. I still gotta eat something before I hit the
Actually,
sack.
I got to crash too. If you want to shut her down, I'm okay with that. You good with that, Dom? I take silence as a yes. Right on, man. Well, we'll talk to you guys later.
All right, dude. Thanks for stopping by.
Yep. Have a good one. Are you shutting it down, or you want me to?
I'll wait a couple minutes until Don comes back to let him know.
Okay. Right on. Have a good one.
All right, take it.
Sorry about that, sir.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, go ahead and shut it down. I went off camera for a second. I heard you. Yeah, go ahead and shut it down. And night all. Tell everybody, Ragged, it's all good. Huck, it's all good. All you lurky McLurk heads out there, you bunch of lurkers in Twitter. So all right, guys, take care. See you soon. Thank
Peace
you,
out.
Canoes.
Yep.
Appreciate it, sir.
Catch you later.
Yep.